Well, hello there, my Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your soulmate reading for December-ish 2019, though honestly timeless. I'm finding that my readings are timeless because people are coming to them at different times and finding what they need there. So cool. If you are new to my channel, I am Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, it's my initials. President of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional reader, drawingthecircle.com, bringing people together with spirit. Yeah, go check out the website. I got a lovely website. A couple of things we gotta talk about first, though, particularly with this series of soulmate readings that have been really different from what I've been doing previously, considering I really only started doing readings on YouTube back in June, around summer solstice, right? So it's 6 months now coming up to Yule. I've learned a couple of things along the way, so let's get some of these out of the way so that we can get down to business. Number one, this is a general read, right? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs can't fit absolutely everybody all the time. Mining the quantum fields, as it were. You get themes, you get archetypes, you get stories, you get patterns. And that's why I do Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for anything relationship-oriented, because it's sort of like being a detective. You're going to find clues in different scenarios in different places, right? Because we have so many different soulmates in our lives, right? You can be getting different information on different people, different relationships. So please take what resonates, which means how does it feel in the body, right? If it's really a kick in the gut, if it's something you really don't want to hear where your body is reacting, you may not like it, and that's fine. No one says you have to like it. Sometimes the truth hurts, or it's triggering something that needs to be looked at, right? That's just how this stuff works. I've been reading people since I'm 12 years old. I'm 51, right? I'm accurate as fuck, but I'm compassionate as fuck. And I curse, which I think makes me a bit more fun, right? So do check your other signs. Take what resonates, leave what does not. A soulmate read, as I interpret the word, is it is a pre-incarnational contract that, you know, you have friends and family that are soulmates, as well as you have friends and family that are twin flames. Those are two very different contracts according to the redefinition, or maybe the original definition that we never knew about, according to Matt KAHN, spiritual teacher. Check the link in the description box below. I keep it up now for all of them, because I think people really kind of at least need to hear him out. It's a really good video. Where a soulmate is a satisfying pre-incarnational agreement, where the bottom line of it, regardless of the form of the external relationship, is about helping each other heal. We're looking at, for these, are like, those are lovely. I've included those in spreads before, as you know, if you've been following along. This is about the romantic, intimate, sexual, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, soulmate contract that so many of us have been working on. I mean, lifetime after lifetime, no shit, like this past life stuff, whether it's, you know, whatever terms you choose to call it, it's like, well, it looks like the planet could use that influx of love, right? That satisfying soulmate, because of the quantum field, fifth dimensional unity consciousness. If we're coming together in these partnerships to heal the romantic wounds, to heal the sexual wounds, to heal the wounds of intimacy, and really truly love with vulnerability and safety, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, why wouldn't the world benefit from that, right? Just seems to make sense to me that way, and I know I'm not the only person. There are legions of lovers ready to go at it, right? Let's snuggle our way into a better world, right? Just vibrationally. So that's what these reads are sort of like, and I don't know that I'm going back to the other ones. We'll see, whatever they want me to do, right? Cool. All the decks that I read are always in the description box below, along with a lot of different links. If you are new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can do super live chat, and as a fun thing to do for the first couple of months, once a month, I will do Drunk Tarot. There's a link about that down there, as well as my book, Words of Grace. Marked it down $10 to $14.95. Go check it out. It'll get you through the holidays and got me through most of last year and this year, that book. Book of Prayer, Book of Magic, in a way. Go check it out. It's really good. Or go read the reviews on my website. They're lovely. Cool. What else? Oh, yeah. We are going to be doing divine feminine, just as a way to define two different people in a contract. I think calling one party A and the other party B is a little... That's party B, not Cardi B. Let's not get lawyers involved. oh my God, he said I was going to be in a soulmate relationship with Cardi B. You know, somebody's gonna. Why not you? Unless she's, you know, whatever. But we're not talking about bodily gender, divine masculine, divine feminine, any of that. That is really a very Western way of doing it. I prefer divine yin, divine yang, but I'm putting it out to the West, so let's keep it in the vernacular of divine masculine, divine feminine. You'll know once certain cards are down which you are, whether, you know, feel it out, because with some people you're divine feminine, with others you're divine masculine. I tend to identify as a divine feminine, but, you know, get me around different guys and, you know, I'm daddy top all of a sudden, go fig, right? But here I am doing my intuitive thing, more divine feminine. So, yeah, books, covers, don't judge. We are all that and a bag of chips. So, I think that's it. Please remember to breathe. That as you are aware of your breath and as I am aware of my breath, we are drawing from the same source, even though we're in different times and places. It's a good way to stay in tune with the same energy that I'm just putting into words, right? That I'm just receiving from the divine. Cool, cool. Breathe. Here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please, one card to represent the divine feminine. In this Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, soulmate contract, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, romantic, intimate, sexual, satisfying. Soulmate contract. There's our card face down for the divine feminine. Please, same thing for the divine masculine in this Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Satisfying, sexual, soulmate, romantic, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, you know the deal. One face down for the divine masculine, all relative to December 2019 or timeless. Ready? Here we go. Who do we got? Ooh, we got the shapeshifter for the divine feminine and the healer. Oh, loving that. Very, very interesting one. And of course, the healer archetype, there are billions of healers. People are more aware of the healer energy, perhaps, than the shapeshifter. But we're going to start with the divine feminine, as we always do, ladies first, even though we're not talking about XY chromosomes or lack thereof, right? We're going to start with the shadow and then the light. The shadow is the lead, the toxicity, what this divine feminine needs to alchemize within herself, heal within herself, shift, manage the soul power of the archetype, and the gold is what she's shooting for. Now, not just within herself, but also saying that this soulmate contract, wherever it is for this time period that we're looking at, it's helping to heal that too, because the bottom line of a soulmate contract is helping each other heal. You with me? Okay. So the shadow attribute, the lead of the shapeshifter, think Sam Merlot. I like thinking Sam Merlot. I liked him Merlot. Projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment, right? It's called getting over. It's called work in a room sometimes, but it is not being authentic, right? It's like at a political function where they're not your tribe necessarily, but you pretend you are just for the free drinks. I mean, that's who hasn't done that in one way or another at some point in their life, somebody's birthday party, just to sort of get along. But, you know, you got to look at what are you sacrificing in terms of your authenticity. That's why it's in the shadow. How do you know something's in the shadow? You wouldn't want anybody to know you're doing it. The light for the shapeshifter, skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness. Ability to see the potential in everything, which is a much healthier way to go through. Now I have a touch of the shapeshifter archetype. I'm a Virgo, immutable earth. That's what we do, right? So I can change the way I look by changing my energy field, right? It's called glamour magic, but really it's more chakric than you think. This in its light is really saying, it's like, okay, like imagine a holiday party, right? With family, with co-workers, where there's a mix and blend of all different levels of consciousness. And it's an ability, a skill at navigating through it by kind of being charming and being fun and being like, hey, and being friendly and being compassionate and really being present with people regardless of where they are, whether they're in pure lockdown, third-dimensional separation illusionary consciousness, right? It's me versus them and never in between. It's like, hey, wow, you're really passionate about, you know, hey, blessed be, have a lovely holiday. You can still be kind, compassionate, loving to an extent, or get the fuck out of town, which is sometimes your option too. Oh, I will shift my shape by getting the F out of this room, because sometimes that is necessary. But then also the ability to see the potential in everything and in everyone, perhaps the divine potential, which is in everyone, according to the quantum. We are all one. Let's look at the divine masculine here. We're looking at the healer archetype. I mean, people know the healer. You know when you're around a healer, usually, or if you are one. The shadow attribute, taking advantage of those who need help. Oh, it's just freaking everywhere in the medical field. Now, not necessarily with individuals, but we can certainly see that in industries, right? Taking advantage of those who need help. Failing to care for oneself, which I think is sort of the blind spot for every healer. I have the healer archetype lifelong. I can absolutely tell you that learning how to heal myself has been the most important spiritual thing that I could do. Learning how to love myself, to companion the child of my heart, because otherwise, if you're a healer with a wounded child in you, and who isn't, right? Who doesn't have a wounded child in them? Not that you ever really get done. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But to always be in that process of, okay, well, taking care of yourself physically, healing yourself physically, there's a lot of rest involved. We all know, eat right, exercise, drink water, all that. But for the emotional part of it, particularly for the divine masculine, which is not really given the opportunity usually to feel its feelings or feels safe being vulnerable, regardless of bodily gender. So to really love that child, to think of the heart chakra as the inner child and talk to that inner child and parent that inner child with, you know, the best examples that you've seen, whether it was the parents you got or the parents you didn't get but wanted, or, you know, stuff you've seen on TV, whatever your best modeling is to love and you're not trying to heal that child, you're loving that child, and that love is what it heals, which means that sometimes it's judgmental as fuck, and this isn't fair, and I fucking hate this. It's like, all right, sweetheart, I get it. You're allowed to feel that way. I love you. Doesn't necessarily mean you're right, but I love you, because there's always a higher plan, right? So that part of heal thyself, so important. Otherwise, that's what makes toxic healers, of which there are billions. There just has to be, right? Because we need the shadow side to show itself so that we know what to move towards more organically, which is the light, the gold. Passion, to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. There is a necessity in the healer archetype. Boy, people are going to like this, but it's just true. You can't avoid pain. You can't run away from pain. There has to, in the healer archetype, and it's gold, there's no running from pain. It's saying that pain is an indicator. Pain is part of the process. It's all about transforming pain into healing. So myself as an emotional healer, I mean, within myself, certainly, you can't do that work with others unless you do it with yourself. But in spiritual counseling and in readings, it's why my intuitive field is clean, because I've been doing emotional healing work the majority of my life. I'm a Pisces moon, right? Cancerians, you know what I'm feeling. You're empathing everybody's everything. How do you know what's yours? How do you know it's not, right? You got to heal it all anyways. It comes in and out of your field. So that thing of saying, okay, well, I'm going to take responsibility and love what rises within me. What heals what rises, going to heal what rises within me, even if I am empathing the fuck out of somebody else. So remember, both of these could be the Cancerian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. You got to figure that out for yourself. And sometimes one person's a Cancer Sun, the other one's Cancer Moon. Makes cross-watching interesting, right? All right, we're not done. We're nowhere near done, but we'll buzz through this somewhat. We're going to take 5 Daughters of the Moon Tarot to clarify Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit for that Divine Feminine Shapeshifter. This will be fun. Please breathe. Here we go, my goddess Hera, please. 5 cards. Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit. I'll call them out one at a time. For this divine feminine shapeshifter archetype in this Cancerian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, soulmate contract, satisfying, sexual, romantic, intimate, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise soulmate contract for December-ish 2019, timeless. What does she want? Element of fire. What does she have? The fuel to the fire. What does she think? Her element of air. What does she feel? Whoop. top card, element of water. Cards are jumpy today. And what is her element of spirit? The POV, the point of view of the soul, all face down. We do like our symmetry, don't we? All right, element of fire. What's she want? Well, she wants the star. She wants to shoot for the star. Now, if this divine masculine is in any way that kind of like shining bright luminary, which a healer archetype might be she want him, right? But there is this higher frequency. This is my fifth dimensional unity consciousness card, right? The star that we are, very Solara, very 1111. I worked for her. Yeah, I worked for her in the 90s. I was her personal assistant. Just wait until the book comes out someday. Gonna want to wait until some people have croaked before I put out that book. She made me wear white pants after Labor Day. That alone, I'm still going through processing. The star is, to me, the most spiritual card in the deck in terms of transcendence, guidance, and grace. To align yourself not just with the star that we are in unity, breathing the starlight. That's lovely. That's anchoring the light. I'm down. But like following your star, following the hope. It's how we've navigated for thousands of years before GPS, compasses, and maps, right? Polaris, the North Star. So finding your heading, making your way, right? What does she have? What's the fuel that feeds the fire? Well, interestingly enough, the Virgo card. So 6th house, which is about healing, dealing with the healer here, and occupation. Now, occupation, yes, absolutely can be what she does for a living, like it's something in her day-to-day life. But your occupation isn't always what you do to make money. A lot of people think of it that way first. It's understandable. That's how we discuss it. It's how we use the word. But what are you occupied with? Think of how what you do for a living, it occupies so much of your time, your energy, your focus. What effect does that have on your health and healing? You see what I mean? It's like they're completely interrelated. So, and I mean, I've been saying this rudely for decades, but it does make the point. Well, crackheads are occupied with getting crack, right? Addicts are occupied with their addictions. What is that doing for their health and their healing, right? So very 6th house, Virgo energy. And also something, and now that I'm really tuning to the energy of the card itself, in my left hand, very, very much feeling the innocence there, the purity, the wanting to experience perhaps that virginal, untouched, new experience in all of this, and hence the star, right? The purity, the satisfying innocence. There's the word, thank you, that there's a certain amount of innocence here. And remember, with a shapeshifter, they can probably protect that innocence by appearing to be as necessary, like camouflage, right? What is camouflage for? In nature, it's usually to protect things that aren't necessarily fierce, right? Teeth and claws, and although that too, because they're hiding, because they're hunters, right? What's she thinking? Well, what she's thinking is fun, play, Bastet. Love this card, very feline, right? In this deck, 6 of Flames, which in the Rider-Waite Tarot is victory. The next card in this deck, the 7, is victory. This is straight out. I love Bastet. I mean, I'm not necessarily an Egyptian pantheoner. I mean, I know who they are. They're all one, ultimately, in the quantumness of it all. I'm more the Greeks, and I understand a lot of the Greeks are the Egyptians, the Atlanteans, the whole lineage, whatever. But Bastet has always spoken to me because, first of all, black cats. I have had black cats my whole life, really, since I started reading tarot when I was 12 years old. There's always been a black cat in my life. It's interesting now that I realize that. But she's a sun goddess. People want to associate her with the moon, and she's not. She's solar. So that feminine energy of fire, I just love that, which, Leo is feminine fire, fixed fire. So she's thinking very playfully about that, and that does make sense with this Virgo card, and that she's sort of wishing on a star for that. And, shapeshifter could be like, okay, well, what do I need to do to get there? I see the potential in anything. Takes lots of errors, trial and error on that one. What's she feeling, though? She's feeling security. The 4 of Pentacles, love feeling this. This feels really, really good. Feeling her oats, feeling her security, her stability, has tapped into her interior well that never runs dry, right? Self-esteem, self-worth, feeling herself, feeling her oats. A little Gia gunshot there. What's the voice of her soul then? Lovely. Six of Cups, compassion. So we've got the Six of Flames and the Six of Cups. So what she's thinking is in alignment with the point of view or the voice of the soul. But this is why this Four of Pentacles is so clear in the emotional field, because she really is doing the self-compassion, right? She's really really brought herself to a place where through her occupation, right, whatever she's been occupied with, if she's really been occupied with compassion, both giving and receiving, compassion of self, compassion of others, which essentially, you know, once you get beaten down enough, it's just true. You get to a point where you can either admit it or not, where everybody's doing the best that they can. Nobody's got all the answers, right? That's really, to me, where compassion begins. Everybody's struggling. Everybody's in a hard, be kind. Everybody you meet is in a hard battle, right? We forget that, including ourselves, you know. What is it that's going on inside of us? This equal give and take of emotion here, the Six, right? Where you've got, you know, one woman holding a cup, being supported by her sisters, by her friends, by her soulmates, helping each other heal as the waves ebb and flow, ebb and flow. Really, she's ready. She's ready. She's in that healing place, loving that a lot. Let's look at the divine masculine healer archetype in this Cancerian soulmate contract. My gods, breathe. Oh, lovely, one more. Oh my gods, please. 5 cards, fire, earth, air, water, spirit, the element spread. For this divine masculine healer archetype in this Cancerian collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Satisfying, sexual, romantic, intimate, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, soulmate contract for December-ish, timeless, 2019. Please, 1 card. Element of fire, what does he want? Face down, thank you, that almost flipped. Element of earth, what has he got? The fuel to get him what he wants. Element of air, what is he thinking? Element of water, what is he feeling? Oh, that feels interesting. Remember to feel that one out a little bit more. And element of spirit, what is the point of view, the voice of his soul? No, this one. They all want in. Ready? Steady, go. What's he want? The moon. Now, the moon usually is a card of confusion. But with the healer here, I kind of don't know that this healer doesn't know what they want. I mean, divine masculines maybe emotionally might be a little amorphous about it, might be a little, because it is the moon, it can be a little bit more, you know, shadowy, cloudy, what's the word, abstract. Well, I want to love, right? You know, where it feels like, oh, look, we got the star and the moon, where she's just like, I want the highest manifestation of soulmate contract to heal me, to heal them, we'll help each other, and heal all of life, right? It kind of feels like, because the shapeshifter sees the highest potential, right? Sees potential in everything, really has kind of her stability and wants to have fun too. So with this divine masculine, it's not so much that they don't know what they want. Maybe it's just not as specific. We'll see what else pops up here. Well, but what he's got is the 3 of Cups. Now, 3 of Cups here, this is the marriage of Eros and Psyche. It is a time of celebration. And this is a time of celebration. If we're looking at December-ish 2019, this is the holiday season. So there's definitely that thing of, yeah, all right, well, let's just see what goes. Let's see where the moonlight takes us, right? The moon waxes and wanes, you know, shifts phases, shifts houses every other day or so, houses signs every other day or so. I guess houses too. So, you know, to kind of feel that waxing and that waning, that ebbing and that flowing, which I have to say is very similar to the soul card here of the divine feminine. But overall, in a happy place, wanting to celebrate, want to kind of toast, so to speak, right? 3 of Cups, but definitely is feeling more friendly, amiable. I like that word. Very amiable, very friendly, very gregarious, because a healer, right? It's like, all right, well, feeling healthy, perhaps even taking care of themselves in this. What's he thinking? Well, Two of Cups. All right. So if Two of Cups is on the mind and Three of Cups is what they have, then we're looking at a healer here who may have a bit more of an idea of what they want, but really unsure about what to do with it and trying to go with the intuition more than the intellect, which is nice to see if that's going on with this divine masculine, right? Because they're usually so mental strategy. What do I do? What do I do? Which, you know, the ego can get into any of that. But by the way, going intuitively, sometimes we're not acting on intuition. We're acting on fear, right? What we're feeling isn't necessarily the soul's resonance, but like emotional baggage. So I would hope with a healer archetype that they're able to kind of feel it out. And maybe that's it. It's like, well, I'm feeling this attraction, but is this something, is this, or is this that, kind of feeling that out. But with Two of Cups, they've definitely been shot by the golden arrow, right? There is an attraction here, and it feels like with that Three of Cups, what they got, they might be like, all right. And with the divine feminine playfulness on her mind, this could go well. Maybe y'all are meeting if you haven't met yet. What's he feeling? Well, there we've got Hermes in the card of judgment. Hermes, the psychopomp, the god of souls, one of the few gods who has free access, like a speed pass in and out of the underworld, right? Can come and go as needed. Knows the pin number for the gate, right? A communicator. Hermes, god of messenger of the gods, wearing his earrings in my ear, the two pentacles for Gemini, the twins. Hermes here in the emotional, it's that intuitively, emotionally, it's like a decision has to be made. Now, not like the lovers, that's another kind of decision, but something is revealed. Perhaps this is a reconciliation. Perhaps these two have danced before. Maybe fate has brought them together again to see if destiny will take hold this time. If they can align themselves to be in it. Now, I gotta say, this divine feminine feeling really good, feeling really aligned, and this divine masculine looking really good. I mean, the card of the moon doesn't necessarily concern me in terms of what he wants if we've got the card of judgment here in the emotional field, which means something is going to be revealed, right? Revelation, reuniting, reconsidering, right? Oh, that song, Stevie Nicks, Reconsider Me. I'll have that in my head all day long. Great song, right? Reevaluation. Things are brought back to life. What's that other one? Reconciliation. To reconcile. That it feels like if you're the divine masculine here, trust your heart unless you're upset. Then don't trust your heart. Feel that, love that, navigate your way through it. But this is really saying, because this is the goddess Hecate. It's one of my main goddesses my whole life. Hecate's been with me since I was a baby. Stregonona big time. But a voluptuous Stregonona, if that's even possible to imagine. Goddess of the crossroads, right? Shifting emotion, changing emotion. The Cancerian card. I mean, there's even a crab in the corner of the deck down here. So, interestingly enough, Cancerian read, there it is there. So might very well be feeling intuitively drawn to the divine feminine if she's the Cancerian. Last card here, we're just going to look at the voice of the soul, the hermit. Okay, so that chances are the divine masculine is still in some kind of hermit healing mode. May not be ready. It might not be the right time to just walk right up. In fact, it does feel like the divine feminine is certainly feeling the more prepared, at least in a compassionate, balanced way with those two sixes, to kind of be more friendly. And we've got the Three of Cups here for the divine masculine, so I don't see why not, if he can be sort of that way, but might be a bit reserved, right? And why? Because there is healing going on. The Hermit card for me, I love my Hermit time. Oh, MC Hermit, I'm so down. I wonder what the pants will be like. We'll find out. Probably comfortable, let's hope, instead of like hair shirt pants. Ugh, right? That thing of deliberately pulling back to focus on the self, to rebuild creativity, to walk the spiritual path alone, to love what rises. There's just certain things we have to, of our own free will and volition, do that. And who do we have here? We have the god Kronos, right? The god of time. It takes time. It does take time. Particularly with that healer archetype. Just fascinating. Let's get our two whispers of love. By the way, that was the Mythic Tarot, Juliet Sharman Burke. I always try and to call them out verbally. I think it's important that artists Like, did you know Pamela Coleman Smith, who designed the original Rider-Waite deck, like, died, like, poor and alone? It's, like, ridiculous. She should be exalted. Blessed be Pamela Coleman Smith. You're probably reincarnated. You're probably a reader. Hope to meet you. Like to shake your hand and thank you. She'll turn up, I'm sure. Pixie is known to her friends. If you know the video that I'm talking about, you can find it on YouTube. Secrets of the Tarot, narrated by Christopher Lee. Yeah, fucking Sauron. Brilliant. All right. Higher selves of all involved, please. Breathe. One card in clarity for the Divine Feminine. My higher selves. The higher selves of all involved. One card for this Divine Feminine shapeshifter archetype in this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Satisfying, sexual, romantic, intimate, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, soulmate contract for December-ish 2019 and beyond. Though timeless, please. One for the Divine Feminine face down, and please, same thing. One for the Divine Masculine healer archetype. That saves time doing it that way. They changed it this time. Like, I think the first couple of readings they introduced that. Pull them all at once. Okay. So what's going on? The Whisper of Love. Love this deck. What's going on for the Divine Feminine? Back to what you love. Get back to what you love. Get back to where you once belonged. Beatles. Your current situation is giving you an opportunity to reevaluate what you want, which I can feel that for her in terms of that reevaluation with the shapeshifter. She's like, well, I see the potential in this. She does want to get back to having a good time. She wants to follow her star. She wants the highest manifestation. You know, every morning I invite the universe. I accept, or I allow the universe to work through me today to bring to life my most fulfilling reality, whether I see it or not, whether I know it or not, for the well-being of all that I am now, and so it is. Learn that from Matt KAHN. He's really good. His shit's good. Go watch his, go check out his channel. There's lots of good stuff on there. So there is that thing of, that's kind of like what she wants. She's getting back to that, which means, of course, she had to take some detours, but you know what? You're never off your path. All of it's part of the journey. It just is. That's the quantum. You can't fuck up the divine plan for your life. There's a difference between control and free will. Control is control. Free will is free will. We have free will. We have no control. We are not in control of which quantum thread we're in. If we were, this would be charmed. And I would be living probably elsewhere. I mean, I love my home in Holbrook, but I think I'd have a side house in Greece, the Mediterranean. You think, worshiping my gods naked on the beach with some lovely grappa and some hummus and maybe some friends from Mykonos, you know what I'm saying? Just a touch. What's going on with the Divine Masculine here? Because she's getting back to what she loves. Honesty is essential, my healer, my Divine Masculine here. To be a loving person, it is important that we speak truthfully and in a loving manner. It's not enough to be truthful anymore. It's like you have to be compassionate. And I think a lot of that, the hypersensitivity that we're going through in public discourse, I think is part of that. That, you know, you can't control triggering somebody. I mean, really, then everybody's walking on eggshells. That's not great for the nervous system either. But there is that thing of saying, well, you know, honestly, this is how I feel. Not that you made me feel this way. You know, we're learning to evolve our language to be more mindful in our conduct, what we say and what we do. So for the Divine Masculine, particularly with the healer here and with the Hermit, to be honest, right? And if there is an attraction, to say, well, yeah, I really like you, but I'm sort of in a healing time right now. Not that you can't hermit with somebody. I've done it. It's lovely, but that's always about a healing thing for me, or a rejuvenation thing, like a little more than a spa day. You know what I'm saying? But that the dominant soul power here is about becoming a better healer of the self and to help each other heal. Brilliant soulmate contract. Divine Masculine has to start being honest, and not to saying that he wouldn't be honest. But with this card of the moon, like that's the one that's like, well, I kind of don't know. Well, then be honest about that. He's like, I'm not exactly sure because I'm going through this. And it feels like the compassion that's really the voice of the soul for the Divine Feminine. You just got to pick up on that right away and just be like, that's okay. Let's just talk. Let's just have fun. Now, maybe that is romantic sexual fun, but good luck with that because she really wants the highest manifestation. So be honest, Divine Masculine healer archetype, for your well-being, for her well-being, for the well-being of all. Let's get last card down, a Journey of Love Oracle, and then we'll do the overview. Nice deep breath. We started with the five pentacles. We started with the 5 pantheons. We will end with the the pantheons are more than 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Ready? You know the prayer by now. Take a deep breath. Oh, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card to summarize, to bring together, to cross every T and dot every I of this Cancerian collective. Sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Satisfying, sexual, intimate, romantic, delicious, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, soulmate contract for December-ish and timeless. December-ish 2019 and timeless. Please, a Journey of Love Oracle for these two. I'm going to read it from the book. Self-initiation, card number 12. This just came up, which does make sense. Like, these two might know each other. They might have even met, but I don't feel like they're together because they're going through a period of self-initiation. Feeling more the divine masculine here. Feel like the divine feminine is coming out of it. But, of course, that's going to vary from story to story in a quantum collective read. Come on. There we go. Card number 12, not a terribly long one. Please breathe. Self-initiation. You are being touched by a wave of your own light in motion. Can you feel the blessings and love that are flowing toward you from within you in an upsurging wave of love? This is your own pure divine nature. You can choose to empower another as a carrier of your own divinity, of course. And sometimes, if you are not quite ready to recognize your own divine essence, this needs to be. Yet at any moment, you can choose to recognize that it is who you are initiating yourself into love. That is you. That it is you who are initiating yourself into love. That you are the being of light, the divine, that is drawing you forward into yourself. At any moment, you can choose to recognize yourself. Will this be such a moment, right? So it's about a self-initiation of love, that you are the divine, that you are acknowledging within your own heart. Even by talking to your own inner child and giving it words of love, you are taking on the perspective of your own higher self, your divine self, your soul, your spirit, talking to that child, which I love you, it's okay, I'm learning from you, you're learning from me, we're in this together. You are being loving, which means you are being of the divine, right? So that's a self-initiatory process. This oracle holds a message for you. There are many teachers on this path. Some humble, some wise, some great companions on your life journey, and some who will enter in and out of your life quickly, perhaps imparting a helpful word or teaching you a more challenging lesson about trusting and relying upon your own wisdom. The greatest teacher, however, is life itself. Sure is. You can trust your own experiences and know that it is the divine spark within you, the life within you, that is the one true teacher who carries you home in awakened reunion with the divine. The poem. How easy to love. The words flow when it is right. I dare not tell you. You feel the hesitation in that this is self-initiation. Look, whether this is a reason, a season, or a lifetime, because no one says that a soulmate contract has to exist a lifetime. Some do, some don't, right? They're all written differently. So whether this is, I'm going to say a quickie, but someone who comes in and imparts a message, like I get that part of it, but it feels like the message is a divine message, that one, a shapeshifter who at their best can like see the potential in anything and navigate any field of consciousness, whoever they're around or who they're with, right? With then a healer, it feels like this could be a reason or a lifetime as well, right? So I don't want to minimize it, but I don't want to maximize it. That's going to be different for everybody. But that there is a self-initiation going on here. And what does that mean to begin? That it's like both are going through their own processes, whether it's Dark Night of the Soul or Shamanic Descent or you know, inner child, whatever. The inner child work never fucking ends, I'll tell you that, because the inner child is the seed of the higher self. The more you love it, the more it alchemizes lead into gold, and your higher self is fully embodied. What can I tell you? It's just what is. So let's do your overview here. This card of self-initiation is very beautiful. We'll try and keep bringing it back to that with a magic clap. Good, solid magic clap. We've got the Divine Feminine Shapeshifter here in the shadow, projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment, working towards the light attribute, skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything, and that is certainly highlighted in what she wants with the card of the star, that higher calling, that higher perspective, that higher vision, that manifestation of the highest, most satisfying quantum reality for her and for the well-being of all. And what has she got? The Virgo card there in the element of earth. Nothing like an earth card in the earth position to say that she is occupied with something that is healing, that is affecting her health in a positive way, that she's really going about this preoccupied particularly with the healthy healing thing, which is great considering the Divine Masculine has the healer archetype. What she's thinking is playful, though. That bast card, that balanced Six of Flames, which does balance nicely with the Six of Cups in the soul position, that her mind, it's like, it's not overly serious. And why? Because in the Four of Pentacles, in the emotional position, we have the Four of Pentacles. That security, that not just the emotional security, it's like she feels comfortable in her own skin. She's maybe been through some healing stuff, not all the way through to a 10, but that fourth place where there is some rest, there is some stability, like a stable four-legged table, which also rhymes. Thank you, my guides. With the voice of the soul for this shapeshifter saying, you know, it's about compassion. It's about the give and take of love and understanding and acceptance, and my God, we've all been through it, and yes, I've done things that I regret when I was in pain, and you've done things that you've done when you're in pain that you regret, and that kind of real love, supportive, soulmate, satisfying sort of vibe in her soul, with the message from the higher self, back to what you love. Your current situation is giving you an opportunity to reevaluate what you want, right? And to get back to that. And maybe that is to be in something a bit more intimate, sexual, relational with this Divine Masculine, who, the Divine Masculine, the healer archetype in the shadow, taking advantage of those who need help, right? Not great, failing to care for oneself. Now, who the fuck doesn't do that? Cut some slack. Anybody with the healer archetype, reason, season, or lifetime. That's hard to keep in balance, particularly healers new to the concept that they're healers, right? It takes a while to find that balance, which in the light is about passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing, which is what it's all about. Have to do that for themselves, and that's what a soulmate contract is about. Do not expect any kind of soulmate contract to have where one person has no pain at all, because that person does not exist. But here we have what he wants is that card of the moon, right? Wanting the more emotional, intuitive approach for a Divine Masculine, which is going to bring healing and balance, but perhaps unsure as to how that goes, what it's going to be, what it's going to look like. It'd be a bit more abstract than a very clearly defined desire, although I have to say the Divine Feminine with wishing upon a star may have an idea in mind, but there feels like, because of her own security, kind of surrendering the outcome of what that looks like as well. So both are in alignment if they're in alignment that way, right? He's got the Three of Cups though, so he's got a nice, you know, friendly bond here, and it feels like these two might know each other as friends, might have more of an association that's social. They might know each other, not just know of each other. So there's some good feelings here. A Three of Cups, and being that it's the holidays, perhaps their paths will cross a couple of times, because on his mind is the Two of Cups, whether it's about this Divine Feminine or not, or just on his mind in general. Two of Cups, like really thinking about the romantic, the intimate, the sexual, the satisfying, the sensual, all of that. But because with the healer, again, a happy, healthy, underline healthy, wealthy and wise way. And in the emotional field there, you know, the emotions are indicated with the card of the moon in the fire position. It's a little tricky to say, but there in the emotion is that card of judgment, right? So the moon reflects me back to the water position, where we do see Hermes, the psychopomp, right? Delivering souls to the underworld or back up ground, right? Back up top. Revelation, reconciliation, a decision, a judgment being made that changes everything, different than a decision perhaps in the Lovers, where something is really revealed, something that was hidden is revealed emotionally here, but the voice of the soul here is the Hermit. So something really there about, you know, needing that time to heal. This is Kronos, the god of time, right? Father of the Olympians. So we're looking at taking the necessary time, and with the words, the whisper of love from the higher self, honesty is essential. To be a loving person, it is important that we speak truthfully and in a loving manner to really communicate himself to the best of his ability in the healthiest way that he can to this divine feminine or anybody. Yes, I of course I want intimacy. I've been thinking about it. But, you know, I'm going through something right now where still, even in my soul, I'm taking some time to heal myself. So if we could go slow, I just need to be honest. I may disappear. It's not going to be ghosting you. It's just I'm in on and off hermit mode. I think that would be very, very helpful for these two to start taking some steps. But right now, what's our Journey of Love Oracle card? Self-initiation. That it's still work going on within the self, even though there might be contact and communication between these two. And I truly hope there is, because this is a type of archetypal pairing that I think the world could definitely use right now in general. Someone who can see the higher potential in anything, and one who's really committed to their own healing and the healing of a soulmate contract. So there we have it, my Cancerians. Lovely, lovely read. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed. As a matter of fact, may the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed in their soulmate contracts, that they may find each other, that they may navigate their way to and through this path together, helping each other heal in a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, satisfying, soulmate, intimate, romantic, sexual contract for the well-being of all. And so it is. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Check out my links below. And really, good luck to you all. May you have a very, very happy holiday season. But for now, my darlings, my Cancerians, my crablets, my crab cakes, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.